This was day 240 and my first attempt at trying to do an Ironman in under 10 hours. Now, I'm not going to lie, I had a really strong belief in myself that I was going to do this on this day, and I was absolutely humbled. The course was really difficult, but that aside, I just underestimated the sheer size of what an Ironman is. And maybe that's just part of it. Maybe the only way to really prepare yourself for an Ironman is to get that race experience in. So the swim was choppy, it was murky, and it was long. It just felt like I was in there for way longer than I wanted to be, and although I came out with a time that was relatively okay, my heart rate was so high. I was sitting at about 185 coming into transition, and I just couldn't settle on the bike. For some reason, my chain wasn't on when I got onto the bike, which was a bit annoying, but I managed to change the gears, get it back on the ring, and off we went. Now, the bike leg went in waves. The first 10 to 15 minutes, my glutes were just on fire, and I could not settle. I couldn't get the heart rate down. Then the next 3 hours on the bike was when I felt my best. I was strong, hitting the paces that I wanted to, but anyone that was out on course knows the last 2 hours heading back into town against that headwind was absolutely brutal. I started to get a little worried at the back end of the bike, but the pace was still there, and I was backing myself to grit my teeth and run it home. I got off the bike and took off at a 4:30 pace and just wanted to hold that as long as I possibly could. Getting nutrition in dried up, and then walking through the aid stations became much more frequently at about the 15-16 kilometer mark. Some positive self-talk started creeping back in at the halfway point of the marathon, but it only lasted about 2 kilometers before I really started to crumble. The next 19 Ks felt like eternity. I've described it to friends and family like I was stuck in a miserable time loop and I didn't know how or when or if I would ever get out. So I failed my first attempt at sub 10. I finished with a time of 10:21, and while I was extremely disappointed because I wear my heart on my sleeve, I know that some of the best life lessons that I've had have come through my failures. Looking back on it now, a few days after the race, I couldn't be more proud. I came so bloody close to this goal after just 6 months of training on a day that was probably harder than most. I am absolutely blessed to be able to move my body in the way that I do, and I'm so excited to be able to give my bike away to someone else who needs it more than I do. I don't think I'll ever be able to express enough gratitude for my beautiful partner May. She has been by my side through every step of this journey, and there's no way in hell that I could be where I am without her. And I just want to say a massive thank you to every single one of you who have sent me a message or yelled at me on course cheering me on. Now guys, the sub 10 will load, I can promise you that, and the next attempt will be in Busselton, Western Australia on December 7th. We've got another 5 months build until we get there, so make sure you keep following, and I will see you guys when I'm back from New Zealand in about a week's time.